Okay, I was never makwaba shonko so edeba POG Media so. I was yembonra yensemu. Akwatia by elections. NS kumi ne wuna uye no. Oya obi ebeto two political parties ni mu bet emra ewo electoral commission se by elections no ekoso a enye asem keto akra na sisi ano EC boss Mensa one NPP amanyuku no controversial bi abom ntema sisi ano omwani enhia ba akokra na sisi ano makọ IPAC meeting meeting o makọ no finally omo asset data by elections no ebekoso NDC 40 omo say omo are ready anytime obi say by elections ne koso no omo are ready omo be grab sa Akwatia seat no e dey free NPP amanyuku nsem na NPP amanyuku no NHS omo chese omo na electoral commission no enya adwen na omo nya ready say yes omo no omo koye elections no omo this year na ato bet mami Mensa enam nansen they were NPP force bi ebetwa ball no ono nso de o se wama omo ultimatum say omo nsete omo bibia na omo manaso nte enye saade a ono no obekoso na wa proceed elections na yensa emomre no Dr. Rashid Tanko asanso ababe drop a shocking revelation sisi ano wabu NPP amanyuku no abema o chese sa seat ne de NPP party shouldn't dare no omo ye den kra na omo be grab seat no omo yenko na yenkonkotie NDC Deputy Director of Election. Answer ne be kono won some kind be a comment section like share my for so answer into me and kabi madam ase
regarding that particular issue from Parliament, but the NDC is lacing its boots ahead of that. Let's speak to Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT of the National Democratic Congress, joining us live from London. Good evening, sir, and thank you for your time this evening.
Good evening, my brother. Let me say good evening to your cherished viewers and the good people of Ghana. I wish everybody well.
Great. To start with, I mean, before we even come to the letter that the party released today announcing timelines, ahead of your primaries, let's take a few steps back to when the December elections concluded. We know that the NDC candidate in the 2024 elections for the Akotia constituency sent the matter to court, doubting or raising issues with the validity of the election results, which made Ernest Kumi the candidate, the MP elect for the constituency. So, what is the latest regarding the court case? We know that it was an interim injunction and then it became a contempt case. What can you tell us regarding how far that has traveled?
Very well. The last time we were in court was at the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court vacated the injunction and the contempt case against the late Ernest Kumi. But they referred him to go back to continue the election petition. We had filed election petition against the declaration at Akuffo High Court. I mean, so we were continuing the case over there. Unfortunately, he lost his life. May his soul rest in perfect peace. I mean, nobody wish death for our opponent. We want everybody to be alive so that we can continue join to see how best we build the country together. Albert, we are social democrats and they are capitalist-oriented. Well, that is how life is. Unfortunately, he passed on. So his death has made the case moot. I mean, it has rendered the whole issue moot. That means completely there's no case again. Well, we're pursuing him because we realize that the NPP, in concert with EC, rigged the election for the Akotia. They rigged the election. We have all the evidence. In fact, we gathered all the evidence, and they did that ostensibly. In fact, initially, we were declared winners at the collation center in Akotia itself. But when the NPP realized that they were not getting their way through that process, they quickly ran away from the place with the EC to Tesano. You remember the episode at Tesano where we're at loggerhead with them? And they quickly ran there, brought another person, a different person altogether, who was not the returning officer, And one of the EC guys who styled himself as a deputy returning officer declared NSP as the winner at the Texanol police station.
Right.
It was complete illegality, and I can tell you how they rigged the election with figures here.
So should it be our understanding, Tango Computer, that the NDC will take formal steps to withdraw the case from court? That is, because you're saying that following the demise of NSP, the issue has become moot.
Yes, of course. I mean, naturally, it's gone, and then we will take steps to just withdraw it because it's gone. I mean, it's not an issue we'll pursue at all.
Right.
That's an issue that we will put it behind us and then go in strongly, work hard to make sure that we reclaim our seat, because we actually won the seat, and we are sure of winning the seat once again this time around. And then we have it. All the areas that they rigged the election, in the polling stations where they rigged it, we have the figures, we have all the evidence.
Right.
And I can assure you they won't have that luxury this time to do that what they did in 2024.
We know that your candidate in the last election, Henry Addo, was the one that actually, through the blessings of the party, took the case to court. Why would the party want to hold primaries when you already have a candidate from the last elections? Is there any reasoning behind that?
Well, this was a decision taken by the Functional Executive Committee, and it was confirmed at the NEC level. And the Functional Executive Committee take decision in between National Executive Committee and Congress. So this has a blessing of the leadership of the party, and that's why we've been mute about it until the General Secretary issued his statement. Clearly, we've realized that this is a fresh election altogether, and therefore the reasoning of leadership is that let's give everybody the opportunity, because it's a fresh election, and we think that if somebody is interested in coming in, why not? I mean, the person can come and test his strength. We are using the same delegates. We are not bringing it any new delegates. The same delegates list that was used for the primaries in the last time, although that one we didn't hold any competitive primaries. There was understanding, and then they allowed our candidates to go solo. Well, it's possible the nomination that we are opening, others might feel that, well, why not allow him to go again? I mean, we just want to be democratic. I mean, we don't want to force anybody on the people of Akotia. That is why we are going this route. That we read it, the nomination will be open on Monday, and then we are very sure that, well, let's see what happens. You know, we are democratic. It's a social democracy. It's a party that respects everybody's rights to contest. And then so that is the reasoning behind that.
Right. And Mr. Tanko Computer, we also know that the Electoral Commission has not formally even been notified by Parliament, and they've also not come out with a date as to when a by-election will or could be held. Why is the NDC in a hurry? Or why would you want to, go ahead of the EC and Parliament for that matter?
Interestingly enough, today there was an IPAC meeting today to discuss Akotia. That means that the Electoral Commission has received official notification. I mean, without it, they wouldn't have invited us for IPAC meeting. My colleague, Deputy, who is currently at the helm of affairs, Madi Jibril, and then Loyata represented us at the IPAC. The NPP also came in there, and other political parties were there at the IPAC meeting, and it was discussed dispassionately. The Electoral Commission gave us timelines. They gave us 5th to 7th for filing of nomination, 5th to 7th August, filing of nominations, and elections will be held on 2nd September. This is the timetable they gave us at the IPAC today. Wow. My colleagues were there, and then they reported to us. I mean, so we are not jumping the gun. We're just following the discussion at IPAC today, and then the timetable as given to us by the Electoral Commission. So we are not jumping. We are not jumping the gun. We are law-abiding people. We took cue from the Electoral Commission who haven't given us this indication. It means they have received a formal notification. I'm sure if they hadn't received a formal notification, I don't think they would have announced this timetable that from 5th August to 7th August, that is about 2 days, they will receive nominations for Akotia by-elections, and then they will hold the election on the 2nd of September. That means they have received a notification from Parliament. I'm very sure of that.
Certainly, and thank you for also letting us know about this, that the EC has met with the parties and said that nominations for the Akwatia by-election will be opened between the 5th and 7th August, and then the by-election itself will be held on the 2nd of September. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Now, let's look at the conversation from, maybe a moral perspective, which is that why is the NDC wanting to contest when, sadly, your opponent has died, the party is still mourning, they've not even buried the individual in question, Ernest Kumi, but the NDC is eager. With all the majority you already have in Parliament, you're still looking to get more. Why is that?
Well, we share their grief. I mean, we are all human, we are all mortals. We share their grief. And then that's why initially in my opening remarks, I say we don't wish anybody dead. I mean, in this country, a beautiful country of Ghana, we want everybody to be alive, but nature must take its own course. Naturally, when it happens like that, I mean, of course, governance must continue. We can't ground the country because we've lost our dear one. Governance will continue. The people of Akotia will need representation, and it's constitutional. As soon as Electoral Commission receive such notification, they cannot say they won't conduct an election to get a representation for the good people of Akotia. The risk being dragged to court over that. I mean, so despite the loss of our beloved former MP, I mean, we still have to go and get an MP to represent the good people of Akotia. And let me put it on record. The NDC, by our numbers, Ghanaians have massive confidence in them. That's why they are giving us these numbers. They know we can manage, and they have seen evidence. They've seen evidence of our management. That's why they gave us this Blekumanov. Look at the way we turned the tide against the NPP and won the Blekumanov. They are seeing the good works of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The confidence level is there. The people are leaving testimonies to it. And so they want peace of mind for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to continue to give them the goodies. I'm sure yesterday you just heard the budget as presented. And I can tell you, I've met a cross-section of Ghanaians here in London, and they are full of praise for John Dramani Mahama, the way he's handling the economy. They are feeling it even here. And they are saying that they wish that they could come back to support Ghana, because what is going on in the country now is unprecedented. And then so it's natural that the Akotia people will want to be part and parcel of this good governance structure that everybody is enjoying. The other constituencies are enjoying. And then so naturally they will vote for us. And that's why I'm saying that we actually want it. But because of the rigging machinery, and because of time, I would have gone through the figures, and you see the presidential results and that of parliamentary results, and some votes cannot be accounted for, almost 2,000.
Right.
Where did they get it from? And
right.
Because of the rigging of those polling stations, I'm telling you, those polling stations, they naturally rig the election for the parliamentary pools in order to get NSCOMI into it. And that's why we're challenging them.
Right.
And then, so now they won't have that luxury to do what they did in 2024. And I can assure you, any candidate who is going to emerge as our candidate for the primaries that we are going to hold, I can assure you that person is going to win the parliamentary election on the 2nd of September.
I'm sure the NPP will also, express same confidence in their candidate. But in concluding this conversation, should we expect that just like the last by-election where we saw, or a number of elections where we've seen leadership of the party go there to campaign for their candidate, same should be expected when you finally do settle on your candidate, where, for instance, yourself will be in Akwatia to campaign?
Of course, I can assure you, leadership, everybody, as soon as we get a candidate, we are all going to move. In fact, I'm coming down to support my colleague at the directorate, election directorate, so that we zoom into the constituency. We want to win the place with massive difference. That is what we are trying to do. We will move in there. I can assure you, leadership, like what we did for Blekumanov. You saw that it was led by our national chairman himself. The general secretary was in attendance. all the party bigwigs were in Ablikmanov. We are not living in a stone unturned because look, this country needs resetting, and we've started the resetting. And then so we don't, you saw what is going on in the country. Yeah. Just a few of them now, 87, look at what they are doing. And then so we just have to make sure that at least let Ghanaians let them know that they need to rest for some time and see how governance is being played out in the country. Okay. I mean, so we cannot allow and cut off Akotia people. They need to be part of the resetting agenda. Yeah. They need an NDC parliamentary MP to sit in parliament and do business for them so that they also enjoy the fruit of good governance. Okay.
Rashid, Tanko Computer, thank you so much for making time to speak with us this evening. He is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT of the National Democratic Congress. And just by way of reiteration, he has just confirmed that the Electoral Commission has set the 2nd of September for the Akwatia by-election. You heard it here first on your election command center. And ahead of that, between the 5th and 7th of September, I beg your pardon, of August, the nominations for filing to contest the Akwatia by-election has also been opened by the Electoral Commission. So you heard it and you are aware. So, of course, those who are politically tuned in, you probably would want to start lacing your boots for that. And we'll definitely be bringing you coverage of that as well here on TV3. This is Ghana Tonight. Still to come, another shooting in Asawasi, in the Ashanti region. That shooting has left one more person dead. We'll be live on the ground in a few minutes and also take you through the stringent measures the Regional Security Council has announced to ensure that they are able to trace and nip these unfortunate situations in the bud. And that includes the fact that beyond 7 p.m., no motorbike should be seen on the streets of Asawasi and its surrounding areas. So let's go straight to the conversation now, which is quite disturbing, and tension is growing in Asawasi in the Ashanti region following the killing of a middle-aged man. And the visuals you see on your screens now are actually live coming from the area. And the incident happened earlier today where the man was shot multiple times by unknown assailants on a motorbike. This is the second such murder in just 3 days within the same area. Following the earlier incident, the Ashanti Regional Security Council banned the use of motorbikes on the roads after 7 p.m. until further notice as part of a raft of measures that they have announced to calm tensions. And beyond that, they've also talked about the fact that persons who ride these motorbikes should not wear smock because it has become one of the ways the miscreants conceal their weapons. And investigations have commenced keenly. Let's speak to our guests who've joined us for a quick conversation on this. Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti regional correspondent. He'll be giving us right this minute update of what is at the area, what he's seeing, and whether or not any new developments have happened since we last spoke at 7 p.m. And again, we have Richard Kumada, who is a a fraud and security consultant. He's also joined us for a quick chat. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Let's start with Ibrahim. So we spoke a few hours ago where you more or less painted a picture of how gloomy the area was looking. People were quite distraught about the situation. What can you report now, a few hours after we last spoke?
Well, Martin, I can say the police presence have been heightened in most of the areas. Unfortunately, for some areas that usually on Friday, you see a lot more people, even beyond 12 a.m. And today, the situation is quite different. You go there, you see few people because most people are currently indoor. The fear has indeed been with most of the people because, like I said earlier, no one knows who is next when it comes to these targeted killing. And in fact, it's not only in Asawasi. Even yesterday, there was a similar bizarre incident that happened at Denasi where we had unknown assailants also on motorbike shooting through vehicle, killing 2 people, and also others were injured. So these targeted killing, like people have tagged it, has raised a lot of security concern. But the issue of motorbike today, I would say, has not been adhered to probably because of the time it came a bit late. So even at this time, you will find motorbike moving around Asawasi. However, the police always make sure that they inspect people riding on those motorbikes, also inspect vehicles and make sure they are not carrying any offensive weapon before they are allowed to go. So that is the situation. Others are just going about doing their normal activities, but I can tell you that most people are indoor when indeed I would say they are supposed to be outside chilling and the rest.
Right. We know that security, they say, is a collective responsibility.
Okay, I was winning and some so our political highway. So NDC Deputy Director of Election, Dr. Rashid Tanko, and I attend and cancer Odessa and Semino Tuja enye Asam Keto Accra. Na ono the orchard say NDC Amanyukono, they are fully prepared. Yabadamase, Semoje Penekoti sa in some way edemai aha a POG Media. So subscribe, like, and let's also share my Afrofonso answer into me. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so any updates be able drop piano on so on sa to me aka. Madamase.